Seth Greenberg, Mothership basketball analyst, and Seth coming off ESPN's 24-hour ESPN Tournament Challenge Marathon, continues to be part of their studio shows throughout the NCAA Final Four, and he comes courtesy of Continental Tire, stat of the day, our Coach's Corner. Seth, how are you today?
Life is wonderful. I'm pump faking my way through life, and that's just the way it is this time of the year.
All right, you're Steve Alford. What do you do? If Indiana calls, what does Steve Alford do?
He goes. Not even a question. He goes. First of all, think about this.
Wow.
They asked him to give back a year of his salary last year.
Yep.
They asked him to give back a year of his salary. He entered into a contract, and they wanted a year back. They wanted to take it away because he had a bad season. Look, this team he has this year is magical. There's no doubt about it. They're terrific. They're fun to watch. Can you recreate that every year? I don't know. I'm not sure at UCLA right now, today, in this environment. I'm not sure I want to coach the next Ball brother. I'm not sure that fit. What can he do there? UCLA, they eat their own. That's just the way it is. They do the same thing at Indiana, but he's got a clean slate. He will be up to recruit the state of Indiana. The UCLA experience probably helped him build his name in terms of recruiting nationally. It's home. And who else are they going to hire? They've got to – if you're going to let Tom Crean go, you better in the back of your mind know you can get Steve Alford.
Do you think Indiana has already talked to Steve Alford or his agent?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They talked to someone connected with him. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they haven't talked to him. Look, Steve's got a team that can win a national championship.
Yeah.
I thought the way they did that press conference yesterday was awful, saying they need a Hoosier for life. Who are they talking to? They're only talking to one guy. They have the right to fire Tom Crean. Whether I agree or disagree with it, that's irrelevant. Tom Crean had a contract. They decided they wanted to make a change. They're going to honor his contract and pay him what he's due. They have the right to do that. That's what an administration has a right to do. I'm not sure they have a right to do it the way they did it, or I'm sure it could have been done in a much classier way. But when you're talking on the first day of the NCAA tournament, and you know it's going to be on the lead of every single studio show, and you're going Hoosier for life, who else are you talking to? No one. It's definitely Steve Alford, and you wouldn't be doing that unless there was some communication. And Steve, I'm sure he's out of it right now, but eventually he'll be brought into it.
What about Brad Stevens with the Celtics?
I can't say Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens got a good team. He's going to get better with the draft and with free agency. I think it looks like he loves what he's doing, where he's doing it, with whom he's doing it with. It's like an NBA trade. You always know what you're getting rid of. You never know what you're getting. I think it would be hard for him to walk away from that. Gregg Marshall's a name.
Yep.
And Gregg Marshall's a great coach, and I love Gregg Marshall. If they thought that Tom Crean was a little quirky, Gregg Marshall's quirky as well. All right? Am I not right?
Yeah, well, a little bit, yeah. Yep, a little bit. I wanted to ask you about this as a former coach. I see this at the end of games, whether it's high school or college, and even yesterday and last night, when the clock is winding down, even if you need a 2, even if you need 1, these kids are not afraid to pull up and be Steph Curry and shoot that long 3. Is it Steph Curry? Is that what's happening with college basketball? That these guys, Princeton didn't need a fadeaway 3. But we're seeing these deep threes with the clock winding down. Why?
Yeah, wow, that's an interesting thing. I think you are who you are. Princeton, 45% of the shots come from the 3. They do have guys who can get to the rim, but a lot of that stuff was designed, and it was designed, the one side had a bounce play, which was a great play, was a flare rescreen that was designed for a 3. So that was a design play by the coach. And it was a terrific play, and the guy got a good look. Because you know what? The analytics of basketball is shoot a 3, shoot a layup, and shoot a free throw. If your team is not built to rack it and get to the line and shoot a layup, then you play to their strengths. The Riley LaChance one was interesting to me because The possession before, they set a high drag ball screen. He came off it, got downhill, drew a second defender, dumped it off. They got a layup.
Yeah.
Similar situation, and maybe because of the foul, people weren't in the present. Similar situation. Riley LaChance is not a one-on-one player. He needs a bump to get in the lane and make a play. There was no bump. He was stuck with the ball, and he was stuck having to take a shot. Good shot, bad shot. He's a better three-point shooter than probably a guy that racks it and finishes it. But that's an interesting thing. Is it the Steph Curry phenomenon? You can just say just the NBA. Look at the shots the dudes make in the NBA. NBA guys take bad shots and make them. College guys take good open shots and miss them.
Give me the number one seed that you think taps out the soonest.
You know, it's a tough one. My gut is Gonzaga. Villanova's got a very tough matchup with Wisconsin, a really tough matchup. Wisconsin, if Nigel Hayes decides to play from the foul line down, block to block, and Bronson Koenig's making shots, that's a tough matchup for Villanova. But my gut feeling is Gonzaga.
What do you expect today, surprise-wise?
I like Kansas State over Cincinnati. I like Kansas State. It's interesting. Mick Cronin's out of the Bob Huggins coaching tree. And if you look at the coaching tree, Bruce Weber's had success against Brad Underwood. He's had success against Huggs. Then you say, well, Cincinnati plays that matchup zone. Bruce Weber's 2-0 against Baylor, who plays a very good zone. So I like his team. I like he has seniors. I like their physical. I love Owundu. I think DJ Johnson is a big body. Brown can make shots. I think that one is one that's a little bit off the radar. I think a lot of people are talking URI for the same reasons. Senior team can really defend, hasn't lost since I think February 4th. They've got a hardness about them. Hassan Martin can block shots, and Matthews can make jumpers, and they play with a purpose, and they played their way in. So they've got a good energy and a good confidence about them.
Keep killing it, Seth. Great appearance today. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate your time.
Anytime, Dan. An honor to be on your show.
That's Seth Greenberg. He's an analyst at the Mothership. Very, very, very strong stuff there about Steve Alford.
An honor to be on the show.
Yeah, well, of course. Just here to honor me and Qualcomm.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.